Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we make custom octagonal window frames. Generally, when it comes to making custom shapes like this, we do have a limitation. It's not a machine limitation, it's a bit limitation, meaning that to carve something like this out, you need to use a round bit. And because you're using a round bit and there's no such thing as a square bit, when it comes to inside angles, sometimes you end up giving a bit more, you lose some tolerances on that because you basically have something round trying to go into something square. And when it comes to this kind of shape, octagonal, you actually leave very, very little. And the reason is because the square, it's not a square inside corner. It's not 90 degrees. It's maybe 30 to 40, depends on the octagon that we're making. And because of that, you end up with a nice even shape that you wouldn't get if it was a square. Now, yeah, we can go to a smaller diameter bit, 1/8, 1/16, 1/32, but the problem with using a very, very small diameter bit is that it's very, very highly prone to breaking because there's just too much pressure on it. No matter how slow you go, no matter how you adjust the feed rate or the speed of the spinning or whatever, the thinner the bit, the more fragile it is. And when you go into production mode for doing stuff, it just doesn't last. Every once in a while I get a project where I don't really realize the dimensions of it before I actually do it. In this case here, of course, I knew the dimensions of the project. I had to select the bits and so forth. So I knew exactly what size it was. And what you see here is a 4x8 foot sheet of MDF. This is 5/8 thickness, so it's a nice thickness. And my bed overall is 5 feet by 10 feet. So there's lots of room all the way around. But it wasn't until I actually had to do the nesting for this that I realized how large these actually were compared to the sheet size. Because for some reason I thought this would fit on half of a sheet, and I actually ended up needing like 66% of the sheet to make this project work. It's not a big deal, I had a full sheet anyways. It's just the way that the layout in the nesting went. I could have laid it out a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but I ended up just doing them parallel as you see here, just so to have an empty spot on the top. And that was important because I had another project where I needed to make some shelving for here in the shop, and it was perfect. It fit absolutely perfectly. So doing this project got the customer's project done, and also got some shelving that I needed to get done in the shop here done at the same time. And there were very little material wastage because of that. One of the challenges I have here at CNCKing.com is that I want to ship stuff to customers, and I want to ship it to them without it breaking. Now something like this, if I made 2 of them in this case here, something like this, if I ship it as is, I guarantee you the shipping company will somehow squish it this way or that way or that way. And although it is kind of strong, it's 5/8 MDF, it will probably break or it gets twisted this way because there's such an empty spot here. So my solution for this one here was to make a smaller octagon. So this one, so I put basically 2 layers of these on it. And on this one here, I'm going to put bubble wrap, and I'm just going to go, let me just put this over here. I'm going to go all the way around this way and all the way around this way. So this adds a tremendous amount of strength to it, and I just slotted in between the 2 windows that I just made. And that's going to hold everything tight. And if it does get pressure this way or that way or whatever, at least it's got a tight fit. I found that anything that's sort of loose when it comes to having it shipped will of course end up breaking, and you want to have a tight fit so everything's sort of strong. So if you're looking for custom CNC work, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make it for you, ship it right to your door.